So, the Hockey News has a lot of rumors posted on there, in terms of what certain teams are going to do now that they've been eliminated from the playoffs. I find it interesting because some of the names they're using, some of the players that are being mentioned, are not likely. I can't see it. So let's take a look here. Edmonton, they say with restricted free agent center Leon Draisaitl will do a hefty raise this summer. And captain Connor McDavid eligible next summer for a new contract. The Oilers must free up some long-term cap space. So far, so good. I agree. Edmonton Journal's David Staples cites Sportsnet's Drew Remenda speculating the club will look into moving forwards Jordan Eberle, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Benoit Pouliot. Elliot Friedman considers the Blues, Islanders, Canucks, and possibly Kings as a destination for Eberle. I'm good so far. I can see that. Sort of. Don't the Blues have cap issues too? Isn't that why Shattenkirk got moved out? He and Nugent-Hopkins each carry annual average salaries of $6 million, while Pouliot's is $4 million. Nobody's touching Benoit Pouliot's $4 million salary. It's not happening. And it says those cap hits make the trio difficult to move this summer unless the Oilers are willing to retain a portion. They could retain Nugent-Hopkins as their second-line center, which is weird because they just mentioned Draisaitl's due a hefty raise, and Draisaitl wants to be that second-line center. Eberle tallied a respectable 20 goals and 51 points for regular season, but his anemic playoff production, 2 assists in 13 games, hurts his trade value. Not really. I've seen guys get traded whose playoff totals are not very good. It happens. Teams will look and go, well, it's not really his fault, or it's first time in the playoffs. They'll give whatever excuse they have to. Pouliot's declining stats make him a buyout candidate. Bingo. This one's why I'm doing the video. The New York Rangers. New York Daily News, Justin Tash wonders if the Rangers will consider breaking up their veteran core. Needed upgrade for their blue line could result in a buyout for Dan Girardi or Mark Stahl. I can't see them buying him out. Maybe? It just seems odd to me. But Capitals defenseman Shattenkirk's rumored to be a free agent target for the Rangers. Shattenkirk is a good addition. He didn't help Washington a lot against Pittsburgh. However, New York Post Larry Brooks believes they could instead look to the trade market. List Carolina's Justin Falk, Winnipeg's Jacob Trouba, Anaheim's Sami Vatanen, and Minnesota's Jonas Brodin as trade options. The only one of those four that I could see being traded is Trouba. I can't see Vatanen, Brodin, or Falk in Carolina being traded. Just can't see it. The Rangers need a quality blue liner with a right-handed shot and could draw upon their forward depth for trade bait. Brooks suggests center Derek Stepan as one option, and that's fine because I'm sure the Rangers can lose him, but then they mention that there's doubts he'll fetch a reasonable return. Absolutely. The thought then is they would listen to offers for Chris Kreider, JT Miller, or Kevin Hayes. No and no on the first two. Hayes, maybe. But again, you have to get the value back that you're giving up, or else you're wasting your time. So I can't see Miller or Kreider being gone out of New York. I just can't see it. St. Louis Blues. The Blues must add speed at center and create room for their upcoming players. This refers back to the Jordan Eberle thought, why I can't see Eberle being there. However, they could be better off retaining those picks and building from within. And because they say they have 2 first-round picks to use as trade bait for a quality center. It's number 20 and number 27 in what's widely considered to be a very weak draft. So it's not like they have 2 top 15 draft picks. They have 20 and 27. Making room for youth won't be easy. The expensive annual cap hit for veterans such as Stastny, who I never liked that contract, gets $7 million. Alex Dean, $5.75 million, and Jay Bouwmeester, $5.45 million will be tough to move. I think Bouwmeester can be moved. Somebody will take on that cap hit for what Bouwmeester provides. They could try peddling center Yori Laterra, 4.7. However, his decline in production is a big sticking point. Last summer, I took some flack for the fact that I wasn't a big Laterra fan. I know there were Blues fans that were like, well, why don't you like Laterra? I am just not a Yuri Laterra fan. The Capitals, this is the interesting one. Another early playoff exit by the Capitals is prompting some calls for significant changes. And then they mention Washington Post Scott Allen cites ESPN's Barry Melrose and NBC Sports Network's Mike Milbury suggesting the club consider moving captain Alex Ovechkin. If Melrose and Milbury think it's a good idea, it's not. Allen also notes Capitals play-by-play man Joe Beninati of CSN Mid-Atlantic has a different view, casting doubt on the possibility of a complete overhaul involving Ovechkin or Nicholas Backstrom. Allen's colleague Isabel, I'm not going to try that, believes salary cap constraints could see the Capitals part way with pending unrestricted free agents Shattenkirk, Williams, Oshie, and Alzner. They'll need the cap room to sign restricted free agents such as Kuznetsov and Burakovsky. Rather than seek replacements for those departing veterans, the Capitals could look at promising youngsters like Vrana, Barber, Boyd, and defenseman Madison Bowie or Christian Juice will get the opportunities next year to join the roster. If the Capitals trade all those players or let all those players go as free agents, and what they acquire back is prospects, we're seeing the start of a rebuild in Washington. I agree you can't trade Ovechkin. I 100% agree you can't trade Ovechkin. Nobody's taking that cap hit. Nobody's taking that contract. But it's an interesting story to tell, and for me, you know, hearing Eberle, the Canucks will be in the running. Yes, the Canucks would be interested in Eberle. But what line do you play him on? Do you play him with Sedins? Do you play him with Horvat? Where do you play him? I know Eberle scored a bunch of goals at the end of the year to get up to that 20-goal mark. He's not really a goal scorer. Is he putting him with Horvat? Where does he go? And what do you give up to get him? I'm assuming that number 5 draft pick would be something Edmonton will be interested in because of the fact that they need more entry-level contracts to offset the fact that a couple of guys are at or going to get their raises in Draisaitl and McDavid. And this is where that whole Lucic contract may start to factor into some things here. It's a lot of money that he's going to eat up. And it's why when Toronto fans talk about, oh, get all these guys who are free agents. Nope, you can't. There's too many guys on ELCs, and once those ELCs are up, and you're looking at having to give these guys raises, those raises are going to be substantial. You don't get the bridge contracts with a guy like Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Willie Nylander. You are paying them flat out, right up front. And those 3 guys, between the 3 of them, after the end of their entry-level contracts, could be as high as $20 million. So, you know, and McDavid, a league max. Right off the bat, league max for McDavid. And you see if he'll take any kind of drop from that amount if you promise to keep him a competitive and decent team. Worked with Crosby. It's worked with other players too, where they've taken less than they would have got on the open market in order to make sure that the team around them is good enough to win. It makes sense to me. Even from a money standpoint, looking at Crosby. Okay, let's just say Crosby maxed out and Pittsburgh had not been able to pay it, so we're just in bizarro world here. And he takes it from, say, Carolina or Arizona. Somebody gives max money. Look, we brought in Crosby. And he signs for this huge long-term deal, but the team around him isn't as good. Maybe he makes an extra $2 million a year, but the money he makes in Pittsburgh as the face of that franchise, the face of the league, with how recognizable he is with that jersey on, with that look, his standing in terms of being able to get merchandise deals, advertising deals, it's huge. And if he's a hired gun, that could negatively impact it. So there's some argument in favor of taking maybe a little bit less money to keep things the same. because you already know you're marketable in that city. You already know you're marketable to the league being in that city. And that you're on a winning team. You've won Stanley Cups. You have this reputation as well. Whereas if you go to Arizona, you may not win anything. Maybe your point totals suffer. Like, there's a lot of things to consider. And all of these things mean that you get the salary, but you may not get as many perks off the ice. You guys can let me know what you think. This is crazy trade speculation time, so leave your crazy trade speculation thoughts in the comment section below. I am maximum 13 days away from getting these wisdom teeth out, and now 3 of the 4 are bothering me. So they know they're coming out. So it's fun right now. It's fun. Get them done, kids. Get them done while you can. And I'm, fighting. I don't know. The one on this side could end up abscessing. I'm really hoping not, because then that may push the whole thing back. And yeah, fun. All right, but for now, keep the discussion to the wonders that are trade rumors. And so when people talk about, well, what are you going to talk about during the summer? Oh, there's always a lot to talk about with hockey, because hockey fans don't stop talking hockey. The difference between this channel and other hockey-related shows, channels, and personalities is I don't take the summer off. I will still be here every day talking hockey, and this is the kind of stuff that goes on. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We're painfully close to 5,000 subscribers. And I want you to be one of those 5,000 subscribers. And if you already are, thank you. And I'll talk to you all again soon.